So, anxiety and stress, it seems to be huge for so many people. But in particularly, I want to touch on it with regards to the gifted, high potential, high intelligence population, because this is a really big deal. We actually, for a whole host of reasons, from biological, neurological, environmental, hold stress and anxiety very differently. And that difference can often be very intense. The people that I work with, my clients, it's an incredibly common theme. It's a common theme in my life, or has been. And it's learning how to understand that within my body and deal with it differently. And so I just want to highlight here, and another video I'll talk about more specifics about it, but just highlight those different areas where it can be more intense for us, for this population. One of them is the biological. So with the different sensory needs, in a previous video I talked about the sensory needs that are very different in this population. Those, if they are not met, or if their thresholds are very different, like each individual's sensory has a different stimulation threshold, and it's like either you need a lot of it or you need a little of it. And so really honing into those and understanding for yourself, your own guide, not what anyone else tells you, but the guide for yourself, that can help with the stress and anxiety that your body feels. Because if you don't have enough, your body is constantly looking for it, saying, whoa, I don't have enough of it, what is wrong? And then on the other hand, if you have too much of it, your sensory threshold is low, it could be screaming because your body and your brain and your senses are getting inundated with something that your body doesn't know how to process. So it also goes into that fight or flight anxiety state that stays high. So taking a look specifically at the auditory, visual, taste, touch, proprioception, interoception, and hearing. I think I touched on all of them. But those are all incredibly important to just hone in. So maybe you just take a little bit of time throughout your day to start noticing, okay, what is my sensory threshold for auditory? What is my sensory threshold for taste? And this is really interesting because let's just take taste, for example. That one seems like, oh, that's not a big deal. I just won't eat something that I don't like. But it's more than that. It really is a stimulation threshold, meaning that when I talk about that, it means that our bodies, individual bodies, are wired to either have a certain amount of it needs a higher threshold, or a lower threshold. And so no one else can come in and tell us this. So you start noticing throughout the day, what is your taste threshold for things? So for the taste, you may need, like I mentioned, those sour or sweet. You might have a need for actually having a lot of stuff. Sorry, I have mud on my hands. I'm doing gardening and this came into my mind, so I decided to film. Or even the actual feel of having a lot of food in your mouth. Some people may want to stuff their mouth, some people may not. So there is a lot that goes with each sensory piece, and it's understanding that really is like gold in helping us get one step closer to reducing that level of chronic stress or anxiety that we may feel.